लगाने के लिए इसने चेक करने बोला है मैं लगा लूं
Okay, great. So Kunal, can you check if we are online in Facebook and YouTube?
हो गई मशीन मशीन
Yes,
का
sir.
काम
Yeah.
लाइन ले ली आपने?
कपड़े ला
Geeta madam, can I mute you
आज
because there is
हाँ
some. Hmm?
म्यूट कर दे।
Yeah. Great. So shall we start with meditation? So Maruf, are you aware of meditation?
Meditation?
Yes.
A little bit.
Can you repeat?
A little bit. I don't have enough information about this topic.
Okay, okay. So we will start with a simple meditation. Like what we will do is we will close our eyes. If we are wearing specs, we can remove our specs and we can just clasp our hands like this. And
Yes, sure. Yes.
then we can rest our hands. If you are sitting in a chair, it's okay to lean back. It's okay to make yourself comfortable. And
Yes.
and you can close your eyes, like you can close your eyes and relax, and after 5 seconds start observing the natural breath, like the breath is coming in and going out. So we should place our mind with this breath, like we need to go with the breath and watch until where the breath is going inside our body, and then come back with the breath. Just follow, we need to follow
After
this.
5 seconds, start.
Am I making sense to you, Maruf?
Yes, yes, I can.
So we will practice for 7 minutes. So whenever any thoughts comes, we should cut the thought, and we need to bring our attention to breath. We need not fight with our mind. Just try to relax ourselves, calm ourselves, and just try to put our attention on the breath. It's a very relaxing process.
Okay.
Okay, so we shall do that.
Yes.
I will be playing some music, so we will be hearing that nice,
Okay.
and we will be relaxing into our own selves. So let's close our eyes.
Sir.
Yes, Kunal.
Sir, on YouTube we are not live. On Facebook we are live.
Okay, no problem. We can do that later. So let's continue with our meditation.
Okay.
That's great. So now let us relax ourselves and watch our breath. If any thought comes, we shall not flow with the thoughts. We shall cut the thoughts and bring our attention back to breath. Just be an observer. Stay in the present moment. So that's wonderful, friends. Let us slowly bring our two hands on top of our eyes and place it like this for 5 seconds, and slowly, whenever you are ready, you can come back to the room where you are staying, and slowly you can feel your body and open your eyes. So when you are ready, you can unmute your mics, and also if you are comfortable, you can start sharing your video.
I missed it. There was no connection.
No problem, no problem. So we have Maruf and Kunal also in our session now. So Maruf and Kunal, can you also unmute? Maruf, are you there?
Yes, I feel now more comfortable and energetic after this short period of meditation. Yes, yes.
Okay, great. So
Do you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you be little bit slow because we are talking from India, so we are not used to that slang.
Okay. So
Yeah,
I said that I feel now more comfortable and more energetic after this short meditation. Thank you.
yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thanks, Maruf, and it's beautiful. Kunal, can you share your experience?
Yes, sir. Uh, During this meditation, before this meditation, I had some random thoughts going in my head. So after a while, I started to concentrate, and then all the thoughts got cleared, and I was able to meditate and focus on the energy, and it felt quite relaxed for me.
Okay, that's beautiful. So, what shall we do in this session? So, Maruf, let's talk about you. Like, what are you looking for in life, and where are you? And
Yeah. Okay. So as I said, that I am from Morocco. I obtained my bachelor degree 1 year ago, and now I need more energy and motivation to apply for a master program, if God willing. So from now, 5 years from now, I see myself as a, international translator. So I want to pursue my studies abroad and to fulfill all my dreams. And that's it. Thank you.
that's wonderful. Thanks, Maruf, for sharing. And we this session is more personal and more what do you call, self-oriented session. It's not like I will be talking and you people will be listening. Instead of that, we will be discussing, and we will be coming out something valuable for ourselves. So let us. We have Suchitra Jetra. Suchitra Jetra is also a meditator and a past life regression therapist. So Suchitra ji, can you?
Yeah, I'm a past life regression therapist. I take patients for past life. And I also teach a little of sadhana, like if anybody wants to go through mantra doing chanting. So that's what I do.
Okay. So I think there is some disturbance from you and Suchitraji. Let's mute it. Mute yourself. Okay. So Maruf, tell me, like, how can I help you? What are you looking for from me in this session? What are you looking for? What is the outcome you are looking for?
Okay, what I'm looking for is uh, to have more energy and to feel more comfortable to carry on my plans and to have more focus.
To have more focus. Okay. Okay. So, do you do some practices or some rituals which help you attain these things?
Actually, what helped me to feel more to focus more and more motivated, just reading books,
Okay.
like books which talk about self-development and so on.
Is it okay for you to share your video? Is it okay? Are you uncomfortable in showing your face? Is it okay for you? Hello.
Yes, okay, give me just 5 minutes and I'm going to join in a video.
Okay. Okay. No problem. So, Chitraji, like, you can share something like, what are you looking for, and for what is the outcome you're looking for in this session?
Shravanji, there is some construction work going on in the next flat on the top. So that's why there's lots of disturbance today in my place.
No,
They're
it's okay.
drilling
It's
using the
okay. I
drilling
think
machine.
okay. Like
So
when
if
there is
you're having,
disturbance, when there is a
okay,
disturbance, we will shift to Maruf until she needs some time. So we can talk and we can make
okay.
of this time.
Huh.
Hi, I'm back. There was some little power issue. Hi, Pramod.
Hi Shravan, how are you?
I'm fine. How about you?
Yeah, I'm also fine.
Great. So I think today's theme for our session is to, like, what are our goals, and what are our plans, and how can we achieve that. So that's the theme which we are looking for. So Pramod, what are you looking at? Like, what are the outcomes and what are the things you are looking for in life?
Actually, I'm looking for inner peace.
So that's very what you call A big,
Aren't we all looking for that?
yeah, yeah. So that's a very big goal you have asked. So you are looking for inner peace. That's great. Hmm?
Minister, I'm not able to share my camera. I don't know why. They
No
told
problem. No,
me
it's
that.
okay.
No,
It's okay. No problem.
no.
No
Okay,
problem.
thank you.
No problem. So no, Pramod wants inner peace, and Maruf wants energy and focus. And Suchitra ji, what about you?
I want to basically get to a point where there's no life and death.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you want to attain uh,
Samadhi.
samadhi. Okay, that's great. And Kunal, what about you?
Sir, I also want a focus in life.
You want focus in life. Okay. So I think we have a mixed population here. Some people are very young who are just out of college and looking for focus in life, and the old people are looking for inner peace. So that's beautiful, and even some people are so vexed with lives, and they wanted to end, like they don't want life and death. They want to go beyond life and death. That's wonderful.
I don't want to end my life, but I want to complete my journey. I want to
Okay.
complete my journey.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. Just on a lighter note, right? So, how can we achieve all these things, right? That's the question. So, if we want to achieve focus in life, so how can we do that? So, Kunal, can you talk? Can you tell me?
Sir, by deciding a perfect goal and planning towards it accordingly, we can achieve a focus which we want in life.
Okay. So basically, the first thing is clarity, right?
Yes, to get the perfect goal which we are seeking for.
Yeah. So to know what we are seeking for is one of the most important things we need to address, and that's where we tend to spend a lot of time on unimportant things. So we
Yes,
know we should know what is important for us, and then we can put all our attention to that, and we can achieve that. Hmm?
yes.
That's beautiful. So Maruf, what do you think? Like how can we achieve our goals? Thanks for sharing, Maruf.
Okay, so yeah. So for me to achieve your goals, first you need to know yourself, and you need to know your weaknesses, your strengths, and to keep in mind your mission statement. What I mean by mission statement is what do you want from this life? If you want to achieve something, you need to work hard to because hard work pays off. So make all plans for habit formation today and after until you reach what you want. But sometimes we lose control, we lose motivation, so how can we get rid from these bad vibes? So this is my question for you.
Okay. So first I will try to repeat if I understood you correctly. So you said to reach our goals first we need to understand ourselves, know ourselves better, and then we get the right clarity of what we wanted, and we can define our own mission statement and put all our attention and energy towards achieving that goal. And here sometimes we may lose control, and we may get demotivated, right? This is what you have asked. Is this correct, Maruf? Am I right?
Yes, yes, I totally agree with you.
That's beautiful. So basically, that's the wonderfully had put together the things. So in order to achieve our goals, first we need to know ourselves better, and we also need to what you call gain the energy and clarity to achieve that goals. But in life, we get out of control, and sometimes we get demotivated. So how to do?
Yes.
deal with this. So anyone can see this is a kind of group discussion. The thing is, we put our questions to the space such that our own intelligence answers instead of me answering this. Let's put together. We have Pramod, who is an entrepreneur who has his own factory in Pune, who manufactures a lot of tools and fixtures, and Suchitra ji is a partial regression therapist. So we have all experts here. So let's put together what they think. So Pramod, what do you think? How can we maintain our control, and also how can we motivate ourselves in order to achieve our goals? Pramod, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, Suchitra ji, you can talk.
No, I missed a little because of connection. There's problem today.
Okay. So the question Maruf had asked is, when we want to achieve our goals, uh,
Yeah.
we should know ourselves, and we know
Yeah.
ourselves, and we try to put all our effort and attention in order to achieve that. But sometimes in life we get out of control, and sometimes we don't
Yeah.
get motivated. How to motivate ourselves and how to maintain this control.
Motivation. One way is the best way I would say is have a friend or somebody whom is close to you who will keep motivating you, who will not judge you but give you the motivation you require.
Mhm.
Because quite often alone, sometimes we forget things, but there's somebody to motivate us or to push us. We achieve a goal much faster.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective, but most of the
Yeah, because if
times,
you like, if you have like now this group is there, like this group is there. If we in the group we are putting and helping each other, we are not judging each other. We are just there to help. If you have any problems, we can help you out.
yeah,
So that makes lots of difference.
yeah, that's true. That's true. That's beautifully put. But sometimes in life, there can be situations where we will be tested, where we will be more tested and more uh, uh, put into a lot of troubles. But during that time, mostly what happens is we may lose all our well wishers and all our friends, so we become very alone at that time. And those are the moments where we have to get this inner resilience and inner motivator. We need to find our own inner self which can motivate us, and then only we can what you call push through those situations. It's good to have people who support us. It's good to have people who don't judge us and try to help us. But that is that's an expectation. But most of the times people spend most of their time in lives in order to look for this right kind of people. Am I right, Suchitra ji? Okay, so Pramod, are you there now?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Shravan.
So, am I audible to you? Are you following what we were
Yeah.
discussing?
No, no, no. Problem in connection, actually.
Yeah, there is a problem in connection. Okay. And Abhijit ji, Abhijit, how are you feeling? Maybe some connection problem is there. So, does this answer your question, Maruf? I think still there is something which you need to address, right?
Yes, and something that we need to bear in mind is we need to work on to change bad habits with good ones. I think this is the most important thing that will help us to be more successful.
Yeah. So we need to replace bad habits with good habits. That's a nicely, you put it very nicely. So most of the times, what we try to do is we try to put most of our effort in controlling the bad habits. but the mind is wired in such a way that it's easier to make new connections instead of breaking the old connections. So instead of trying to focus on bad habits and trying to break bad habits, it's good to create new good habits, and then automatically we try to what you call we can automatically come out of our bad habits instead of fighting with what is bad. This is one thing, and motivation is something which is a very what you call very complex subject. Like most of the times, like Suchitra ji shared, I always look for motivation. I always look for someone who can motivate me or push me to reach my goals, or as a coach, someone can be with me and be with me in my journey or support me in my journey. But most of the times, like after all my experiences in life, I found out, like uh, at the end I need to push myself. At the end I need to motivate myself. So instead of looking for or looking motivation outside, I need to look for motivation from inside. So this is what I learned in my life, and that's how I try to push myself or encourage myself and go towards my own realizations of my goal. So that's how I try to go ahead in my life. So for me, one of the biggest lessons in my life is don't lose hope. Whatever be the situation, don't lose hope. That's the major learning in my life. I had even undergone a lot of situations where there are a lot of lot of times there was a question mark in my life, whether am I doing correct, or is it perfect, or is it what I wanted. So all these questions I used to get, and but at the end of the day I tried to push myself and I tried to motivate myself. So here we will understand some things about ourselves. Like basically there used to be two psychologists. These psychologists had devised some process called voice dialogue process. Have anyone heard of this process? Voice dialogue process. Okay, so this is a process where we do self talk. So we try to talk with our own selves. So everyone are interested, excited? Can I share something or chat something? Tell if say that I am excited to learn about this. Yes, great. Thanks, Abhijit. So this voice dialogue process takes some kind of understanding about our own selves. So I will share my screen quickly.
Sravan, this is called Vak Shakti.
It's not Vak Shakti. It's mostly about talking with our own parts of selves. Like, identifying ourselves. Like we have done it
Oh,
in one of our workshops, if you remember, ma'am. Like we have
oh,
made Sumit sit in one chair, and, we had interacted with some other selves, right? You remember now? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So this is the voice dialogue process. Like this process will help us to understand and connect with ourselves better. Like most of the
Oh,
times what we do is we only know some parts of ourselves, and we don't know
oh,
some other parts of ourselves. We try to
oh,
and also we try to condemn some parts of ourselves. Let's say there is a self which is called mischievous self. Let's say Kunal and Maruf are now they are in youth, right, around 20s. They are in their 20s, and they have a lot of this mischievous self in them. But due to conditioning of parents, or due to schooling, and due to education, so what they do is they try to condemn this mischievous self. and there is some part of energy which is getting drained there. And also there is something called pusher self. This pusher self will keep pushing us towards our goals. So this pusher self will be pushing us, like, when we are sleeping in the morning, it will tell, no, wake up now, go and do that work. So this is this pusher self. So I will quickly share something in my screen. So let me know if you are able to see the screen.
No, we can only see you.
Okay, maybe it takes a couple of minutes. Kunal, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Now it is visible.
Okay, everyone else are able to see the screen?
Yes, it is.
Great. So this is the book which I am writing. This is called Victim to Victor: Mastering the Art of Self-Transformation. So here I have a chapter called Acceptance. In this acceptance, I have something called voice dialogue exercise. So here, if you see, there are some selves within us. You see it? Can everyone see? Can someone talk?
Yes.
Better to keep your mute mics unmute unless there is huge disturbance in your surrounding. Because I prefer more interactive session instead of I talking and you hearing. Great. So these are certain selves we have. So what I will be doing is I will put these selves in the chat box. So for today's exercise, I would like you to select one self which is dominant and one self which is condemned, which is disowned. Okay. So in this, like, you can maybe someone need to. So you can choose one self which is dominant. Let's say I'm very, my dominant personality is, let's say, victim self, or my dominant personality is critic self. Like, there is always a critic inside me which is dominant. Can someone mute where is there is a disturbance? Yeah. So everyone got these messages, chat in the chat box. Rule maker, good, good, Maruf. This is your dominant self. This is what you mostly recognize yourself with, right? But wonderful. So now choose one self which is not dominant, which is hidden or which is condemned. Let's say there is one self which is condemned by you, which is controlled by you, which is ignored by you. Choose one self which is dominant and choose one self which is condemned. Let's say you say, I don't want to be this uh, spiritual person, or I don't want to be this victim person, or I don't want to be this dependent. I don't want to be dependent. I don't want to be selfish. So what you don't want to be? Yeah. So this is spontaneous. You don't want to be, Maruf?
Okay, so I've just understand the question. So what is dominance is, as I said, the first one, which is, where is it? Rule maker, and something which I don't want to be is spontaneous, because most of the time I find myself while I'm talking, I'm a spontaneous person.
Okay, that's beautiful. So now what we will do is, if you have laptops, you can open a word file or something, or if you are joining from phones, you can take one pen and paper. Okay, and then you can do some simple written exercise. So for this exercise, what we will be doing is, we will be knowing we will be dealing with three things. So one part is our name, like let's say I will share some others, one more screen. So now let me know if you are able to see this blank document.
Yes, sir.
Great. So there will be one person, like my name is Sravan Mahesh. So this is the main person. He is like a moderator. Okay. And there will be one more person. Let's say I choose oneself, which is dominant. So the dominant self may be lazy for me. Let's say lazy self is my dominant. Hmm? And then I will choose one self which is not dominant, which is hidden or which is ignored. Let me take inner child. Are everyone able to follow? Okay. Like this I will do. Hmm? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So now I will be putting some questions. Like I will be asking some questions this to these selves.
Carry.
Can someone mute where there is some disturbance? Yeah. Good. Yes. Wonderful. So you can chat if you are having something. So what I will do is, the first thing is I will give some name to this self. Let's say lazy self. Any name whichever comes to my mind. I will call it as Ram. Okay. Inner child, I will call it as, let's say, Mahesh. Okay, these are some names which I am having. So what I will do is, now I will start a dialogue between them. So I will be the moderator. This Sravan Mahesh, my name. This person will be the moderator, and rest of the selves will talk to us. Let's say I will tell, "Hello Ram, how are you doing?" Now Ram will answer, "I am fine, Shravan. Thanks." So now again Sravan Mahesh will talk to this self. So do I need to know anything about you? No, randomly. It's a dialogue between these selves. Am I making sense to you people? Am I making sense to you people? So we'll just try to talk. So we'll talk with ourselves, like we will talk and we will understand. So I will also share some questions which can help us in interacting more in the chat box. Like what are you thinking? How else would you describe yourself? Where do you feel yourself in Sravan Mahesh body? You talk to that self. You talk to that self. Let's say this self which is disowned or which is predominant, and you try to communicate with that. So, what kind of situations do you come out? Let's say I will ask this Ram. So I will ask, when do you normally come out? Now this Ram, which is the lazy self, is answering, I come out when I feel dominated. I feel afraid of being bullied. I don't like judgments. So I try to avoid contact and stay with myself. You see, this part I did not know earlier. I only know, like there is something, a lazy part inside me. But when I am talking, this thing came out. This part of me is giving me more information, saying that the thing is, it's instead of this lazy, there is something which is deeply hidden, which is being afraid. It is being afraid of judgments. It is being afraid of being bullied. It is being afraid of being dominated. Hmm? Right? Making sense to you people? So you just write down, like you just talk to with yourself. So I will give you some 5 minutes for this. So you just try to do this exercise with yourselves, because the whole point is we need to understand ourselves more better. We need to connect with ourselves more better. Okay, I'll be playing some nice music for 5 minutes. So you just do this exercise. Beautiful. If you have any questions, please ask me. So, anyone finished? Sound problem. Okay. Music sound is not clear. Okay, I think there is some network issue. So, if anyone had finished with the exercise, am I audible? Kunal, am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, do you need some more time for this exercise? Abhijit and Maruf?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah. So, are you done with the exercise?
Yes.
Okay. So, how do you feel after this exercise?
I have a clear vision now than before.
Okay. So, would you like to share, with the communication you had with your own self?
Yeah, sure. So, concerning the first question, what I'm thinking about. So, I'm thinking about to finish a very interesting book by Jeremy Harmer. Tonight, I have to finish it. This is a goal for me in this week. For the second question, how else would you describe yourself? So, if am I to describe yourself, I would say that I'm independent, I'm loyal, and not that kind of people who are procrastinating their what is in their schedule. So I try to manage my time more accurately.
Hmm. That's
So the
good.
third question: where do I feel myself in body, and how do I feel there? So for the moment, I feel more comfortable, and I have a clear vision to achieve my goal. The fourth question, are you around in life much? Yes. The fifth question, what do you normally tell to do. So to keep promises. The last question: how can you identify you when you are around? So by that I give time to people to identify themselves, to talk, because there is a difference between I hear you and I listen to you. So as the quote says, if you are talking, it means that I have to be more to focus more with you, to listen, to give you time, and so on. So, what kind of situation do you come out of? So now, really satisfied. What would you like to do to make you? What makes you happy? To keep reading books, to my language, and then I try to apply what I learned there in real life circumstances. What do I want? I want to achieve my goals. How long have you been in? And that's it.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful, Maruf. A huge round of applause for your effort, and very great. So, Abhijit, do you want to share? Abhijit? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Kunal, you want to share? Yeah, Kunal, you want to share? Kunal, can you hear me? Okay, so that's great. So I think we are also done with our time for today. So I hope today's session was valuable to you, and you can learn more about myself from my website. It is www.sravanmahesh.com, and I'm always happy to be a part of your transformational journey. So, do you have any questions? If you have any questions,
Thank you so much.
thanks, Maruf. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Thanks for
if you have a
joining.
question first, I'd like to thank you so much for this insightful and very informative webinar. I have learned a lot so far. So I have a question concerning the book that you have shared with us, Victim and Vector. Please,
Yeah,
can you tell us the name of the author?
it's me. I'm the author. I am the author.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I'm more excited to read it.
yeah. So I will send you a copy.
Okay,
And
thank you.
you can drop me an email and also your phone number. I can maybe share. I can share my email ID. So I will send you a copy when it's ready.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Maruf. So I'm just sharing my email ID here. You can drop me an email with your contact details, and then I will send you the book, the copy. You're able to see?
Yes, it is clear.
Yeah, great. So thank you, Maruf, thank you, Kunal, and thanks, Abhijit, for joining me today. And see you again next week. Bye.
Yes, sir. Bye.
Great.